We are
Okay,
live.
we are.
Yes. Here we
Yeah,
are.
this is it. Yeah,
Okay, hello.
good morning, everyone. Good morning from Manila, and welcome
Good
to another
evening sa
episode
inyo.
of Missosology Beauty Talks. And today we are joined by former Missosology correspondent Stephen Diaz to welcome our very special guest, the Philippines' fifth Miss International winner, live from Toronto, the beautiful Miss Bea Rose Santiago. Hi, Bea.
Hello. Hi,
Always
guys.
beautiful,
Thank you
Bea.
for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Tagal naming hinintay.
We were just waiting for the
Finally.
perfect timing,
Oh my
Bea.
God, are you guys gonna grill me or something? But natatakot ako.
To start off, how are you and how have you been doing lately?
I'm doing well, obviously I was like a little bit scared a few months ago, but now I'm so much better. I dance every day. I talk to all of my friends. Actually, I like it. Parang it was a bittersweet good thing because I reconnected to all of my friends, even the friends that I have since I was in grade one in like province, and it's fun to reconnect and to just to get to know them much better than how I used to know them.
It's
Great.
always
I
nice
mean,
to
these are your friends from the Philippines, or where in the Philippines specifically?
Well, all over the place, like I have friends in Masbate,
Uh-huh.
in like in Cebu, people in America, in England. I've even it was just fun, and there's so many celebrations that I get to see through the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's actually parang I became deeper,
We
because
all are.
yeah, and even in my neighborhood when I walk or when I go for a run or I walk my dog, it's a different mood. Like the quarantine have given us a different perspective, I guess. Kaya let's just hope dumami yung population. There's more people.
Yes, we lost a lot as well.
Yeah, so I guess I guess it's up for us to multiply.
Wait, speaking of which, your mom is already pressuring
Yes.
you to give a
She is right beside me and she wrote me a little note. Positive, be positive. That's what she said.
different
Oh my
positive.
God. I know. It means behave. That's what she meant. I have my tea here.
Yeah, don't worry, tita. Hindi naman po namin i-grill si Bea today.
I know. No. She's not. She doesn't. She trusts Stephen. She's afraid of me.
Last
afraid of
week
you
your
guys.
live was smashing. It was really
Thank you.
it
Thank you.
was I
It
was
was so
asleep,
fun.
woke up. I woke up early in the morning and then I saw you and your mom doing your IG live. It was like, what is going on here? Then I didn't even realize that I was still using the Miss International IG account. It
I
wasn't
know.
my
I
account.
saw.
So I was like,
Oh,
I was sending comments, I was posting comments, and then I realized, oh my goodness, it's a
and then
Miss
you
International.
realize.
It's not my personal account.
I kind of knew it was you because it was like just the way you talk. It was very you.
Okay. All right, but anyway, now just what? Please let's greet first some people who are actually watching, especially those who have
Oh.
continued to watch. Aurelia,
Hi, Ate Al.
I
Ate
think
Al was
she's
watching.
sharing this to everyone right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes. Actually, she was prepared. The day that you guys have posted it on Facebook, she already shared it to all of my family. We have it in our walls, in our chat group. Everybody received it.
Yeah, hello everyone, especially I
I
think
love you, Ate
those who are
Al.
in Masbate. I think
Yes,
they are
people in
watching.
Masbate. Oh my God. Hi to all of my family, my friends, titos and titas, and people I grew up with. Hello, I'm back.
Okay, now.
And yeah, okay.
Drew.
Now, yeah, I want to shift gears a little because you already mentioned Masbate. So,
Yeah.
you came from a very humble background in Masbate. So back
Mm-hmm.
then, as a little Bea, did it ever cross your mind that one day you will be joining beauty pageants and will become a beauty queen?
Actually, I was never little because I've always been super tall. So, so like like that little giant Bea. I guess I have never. But my dream before was to become the next Kate Moss. I wanted to become a supermodel. That was my dream. And then it became I wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model. And then and then it was later in life. I think when my mom saw Venus Raw in Beanie Beanie, that's when she have pushed me, forced me to believe that I can win a beauty pageant. And that's when I started thinking. And I was around 22, 21 years old when I had that. And then I had 1 year to think about it. And then I moved to Asia. I lived in the Philippines. I did mutya. I left again because I was so homesick. It was just very difficult for me to live in Manila because I have never lived in Manila. Although I was born there, I was raised in the province, and then I moved here in Toronto, and I moved back. It was a culture shock in Manila. And then I have to decide after. I think the people that really helped me to stay was Tito Raj, the KF camp, and my best friends, Parul Shah, Hannah Season, Maggie Wilson. Those are the girls that really, made me realize that I have to stick it through this. And then I met my boyfriend, and he helped me as well. And then I decided to plant my seed there. I got like a small little studio, yeah, a studio, and what do you call that, like a bachelor,
Retrospad.
a bachelor's pad, and I adopted a
Bachelorette's pad.
dog, bachelorette's pad, and then I adopted a dog, and that's how I started. That's how I slowly became um relaxed and
Mhm.
comfortable living alone. A 22-year-old first timer in Toronto. I mean, from Toronto to Manila, and it was amazing in the middle of Cubao. Imagine that. I lived in Cubao, and at that
Very
time
near
because I was,
Bb Pilipinas
oh my
headquarters.
god, yes, and I have to commute because there's no in I think it was in 20th Avenue. There's no not a lot of taxis, so I had to take the
Yes.
tricycle and the jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so it was
Cubao is
fun.
like the heart of Manila because that's where most of the
Crazy things.
yeah
A lot of
I think
crazy
that's
things
where most
happen
of the
there.
bus stations are
Yes.
that
Oh
leave
yeah.
Manila. It goes in and out
Oh
of Cubao.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
from a
It's
province
a
guy,
very busy. Yeah, exactly. So I lived everything. I lived like the super slow life, like the 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. life of the province to 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. life in Toronto. And then in Manila, which is like 24 hours open.
10 hours. Yeah.
So it was a big, actually it was a big culture shock. But it was part of the journey that made me stronger. And I think if I haven't lived in Cubao, I wouldn't be able to win because I really endured a lot of like soul searching. I did a lot of like um self healing, self evolving in Cubao.
Mhm.
And I became such a street smart person there. I learned how to drive in Cubao. I swear. Day two of my driving lesson, I was already driving in the busy Cubao intersection, and I
uh-huh.
was screaming. "Ah!" I was like, oh yeah, but I
Super traffic pa
survived.
naman doon.
Oh yeah, imagine that. I was
Yeah.
screaming. I'm almost crying, but I enjoyed it, and it was like parang how your parents would just throw you in the swimming pool. That's what happened to me, and I learned. And I
And
learned.
so, yeah, you mentioned you lived in Cubao. So the goal was really to go into Bb Pilipinas talaga.
But this was already
Yes.
after Mutya
Yeah.
ng Pilipinas, right? This
This
Yeah.
was
was after Mutya.
after Mutya ng
Because
Pilipinas.
during Mutya, I really just wanted to win because I want to use that money for my university.
Okay.
So my winning prize, I use it to pay for my university, and then had another few months to think about it in Toronto, and then I had a boyfriend then. I had to dump him
Mm.
and then move to Philippines. But first I lived in I think I went around Asia. I went to 1 month in China. I backpacked, and then we went to Malaysia, Hong Kong. It was just a fun journey, and I really needed to do that for me to really grow and to be ready for a, a really really big and a life changing opportunity like Binibining Pilipinas.
Oh, before Drew goes to the pageant side, just want to hear a
Okay.
little bit about your
Uh huh.
background in China because I'm a little bit curious about what you did there. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people have strange notions or probably negative image about China in general, but for someone who had
Mhm.
backpacked, continental China, how was it there when you were journeying
Oh,
around?
it was during that time it was around the time when there were controversies between Japan and
Mm,
China, Manila and Hong Kong.
yeah.
So I had to pretend I was Singaporean.
Oh.
Singaporean Canadian. That's what I had to say. And I was backpacking with my ex-boyfriend's mom because we were very, very close. We're best friends. And she brought me, and because she's Canadian as well, she was also like too Canadian to be Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both like, be careful what we're doing. So just imagine this like two little, like Canadian, me and an older woman, double my age. We were very, very careful when we were, but we enjoyed. We had so much fun. We joined a tour bus. They were all Canadians, and we went from south of China to north of China, and we went to all of those really majestic, almost fairy tale like
Mm.
palaces of in China, in northern area, and to the point where we reached a part where it's almost closer to the border. So there were a little bit we were more like where we were using nada coats,
Yes, because it's cold up
and
there, the
it's super
desert.
cold. And they would talk to me in Chinese because they think I was Chinese.
Right. You could be Chinese actually in the northern part of China because you
Yeah.
have more Turkish and Mongolian mix there.
Yes. Like a little bit Russian almost, but with like my eyes. And I was like, wow, they're so beautiful. My God, Stephen. They were so beautiful. I
There are
can't,
so many
I
beautiful
was
Chinese
like, oh
stores.
my God, they look like a mix of like Russian, Chinese, and Spanish
Yeah.
in one person. And they don't even know they're beautiful. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
they
how do
don't.
you
They
not?
don't. That's true.
They
That's true.
don't. And they're just there,
Yeah.
living normally. And I saw them, they were cutting like chicken. They were cutting the heads. And I come from the province. I grew up with a sabongero, like, like my grandpa was
Sabongero.
sabongero. I
Ooh,
know how to
sabongero.
sabong.
Sabong.
So I wasn't like, oh my God. And then I have to pretend, oh my God, I'm scared. But really I wasn't. The rest of the Canadian were all freaking out because it was literally beside the street, and he was just like cutting it, cutting it. But I didn't feel any like discrimination, no prejudice, nothing. I enjoyed the countryside in China.
Mm.
And I think that was the very first few 5 years of the government trying to see how the tourism will work.
They're very.
So
They were very
mm,
active. No, not active is not the right term. I think they were very aggressive in terms of tourism promotion
tourism.
because even this world was held in the desert in Ordos, northern China, in Inner
It
Mongolia,
was so,
2012.
have you seen it? It's so pretty, right? Can you
Yeah.
imagine? There was some acrobats and like like just amazing Circus du Soleil type in the middle of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a Cirque du Soleil type in the middle of the mountain. I was sitting on the rocks and they were performing on top of rocks. And I'm like, how do you,
Do
how?
that.
I was really amazed. I was really, really amazed. And I really, really, as much as some Filipinos may say, oh, you don't, want to go there. Uh, Once in your lifetime, you might want to see the countryside
That's
of
true.
northern China
Yeah, even
because
southern and central China,
amazing.
it's a really very beautiful country. I was there in
It is.
2007. I told myself to go back, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. But it is, it is a country with many countries. That's what
Yes.
I could say. It's really
Yeah.
huge and it's
And
beautiful.
I think now it's really busy because they have opened the borders. Before they've only opened it for like Chinese heritage tourists,
Mhm.
people with, Chinese background. And we went, they were all like Chinese from different countries.
Mhm. Uh, oh, I think.
Koreans, but I think now it's so much like there's too many people.
Hopefully, after this whole COVID-19 thing, like we'll be able to go back
Yeah.
to traveling. China is just around there, you know.
Yeah, because like when I was there, I was so like I was very what do you call this? I was impressed by the government, implementation of their tourism, and I was like, we should do that in the Philippines. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's when in 2013 they did the Wow Philippines. I no, not Wow, sorry, oh my God, so old. It was it was the more
Fun in
fun
the
in the
Philippines.
Philippines. Yes, and I was like, yes, thank God they have this because we really need it. And in the Philippines, it's more raw, it's more beautiful, it's more fun, really. And I love it in the Philippines because when you travel, there's only one weather. You don't have to change
You
anything.
don't, yeah,
You can just, and then you can just bring like a small backpack,
yeah, and you
and
can
just
just find it in
because you
the
can
market over
find
there.
anything. Yeah, exactly. You can find clothes, you can find shorts, panties, anything as a backpacker. Just bring us like your passport and money. That's
That's
it.
true. That's true. I could
And
attest to that.
and plus, I didn't have to. I was almost mugged in Malaysia.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
Toyota
So
was mugged in Malaysia.
right,
Hmm.
where in Malaysia?
Kuala Lumpur. I know in
Oh my
Georgetown. I
God.
think. I think it was
I
in
was
Georgetown.
me. It was Chinatown of KL.
Hmm.
And
Even you would say that in the Philippines that thing would happen, but it would happen probably in
no, I
least.
lived in Cubao. I lived in
You were never
Cubao.
mugged.
I was never mugged. I
See,
would take I would take the Jeep. I would take the tricycle. I would walk from 20th Avenue to the subway. I never got mugged. And you know what? Because maybe it's more fun in the
it's
Philippines.
more. Okay, Drew, let's go now to your pageant talk
Okay,
now.
so
Okay,
you,
sorry.
For
you
sharing.
mentioned China earlier, and I
Mm,
remember that in 2012, you competed in a pageant in China, Miss
yes.
Tourism, Miss
Yes.
Tourism Queen of the Year International, I think. So
Was it the same
I
pageant
forgot.
won
I
by
think in the year.
Lauren
I think the
Bautista?
one in the year.
yeah, the Tourism Queen of the Year International.
That's the
So
one
when
won by Lauren Bautista, right?
yeah, I think so.
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
so when
forgot.
you compete,
Oh my
you
God. Let me just
joined
say
with
this. I forgot about this
uh,
experience. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
don't worry, I'm not gonna ask the experience naman na that. So
No,
when
no,
you
no, no.
competed in Binibini,
No,
yeah,
no,
go
you can
ahead.
ask me. You can ask me. My experience in China as a candidate for the Miss Tourism, it was
Uh,
fun as well. The girls and I, actually, Cindy as well, went to the same pageant, I think, Cindy.
I think
And
Cindy was in Miss Tourism Queen International, MTQI. Yours was the one being organized by the Malaysian group.
oh, okay. Yes, yes, true. Yes,
It's
yes.
a Malaysian group, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the same pageant won by Loren, who
Okay,
became Miss Globe, Bb Pilipinas Globe last year.
okay.
Yeah.
It was fun. We went to a lot of spas. That pageant
Mhm.
treated us with a lot of spas, and we love it. Um, More so, what I can say is that I made amazing friends from the pageant.
That's
I
great.
made so much memories with the girls.
I think
And
you competed with
yeah.
the same girl whom you also met in Miss International 2013.
Yes, Kazakhstan, Miss Kazakhstan, Miss Mongolia.
I'm not sure. I already forgot.
Oh my gosh,
But
she's
yeah,
gonna kill me.
there was I think one or two girls whom you already met in the pageant
Yeah.
in China, and then you had a reunion in Miss International.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Now,
Yes.
the mga
Miriam is from. I don't know if she's from
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. Miriam, right?
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. Yes, she's married now with two
Yeah,
kids, I think. Wow, may ebidensya.
yeah, yeah. Kyrgyzstan. It's her.
Yes, I love her. You know, she was my
program
best
book.
friend in China. She was my best friend in China, and then when we reached Miss International, we were kind of like shy, and I like, and then because we were grouped differently, we didn't end up, catching up.
Oh yeah, you were in a different group.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, now
now
Bini
I
Pilipinas
move
question.
forward to Binibini. So when you
Hmm.
competed in Binibini, you were sort of like a pageant veteran already because of the Mutya experience and then the international experience. So did you ever? What was your mindset during Binibini? Because when you competed, there were 50 girls.
Yeah.
There was a record number. So it was the golden anniversary. So what was your mindset back then?
Um, it was just I have to win. I was a horse. Like I was a force to be reckoned with. I was ready to kill. That was me. Because after I've decided, like when I decided that I would live in the Philippines, endure all of this craziness that I was experiencing, my homesickness, it was just a overwhelming emotions of being alone for the first time and that long. Um, I had to. It was that motivation. I had to. There's no plan B. It was just all plan A. So from that point on, I was like this. I have to win, which was scary because if I don't know what would have happened if I didn't win. But
Yeah.
I became a perfectionist almost. I wanted everything to be perfect because I don't want regrets.
Mm.
That was my motivation. No turning back. Give everything 100%. So when you go back to Toronto to your mom, you did everything.
Mm.
What
Yeah.
Your
title
mom
were
wasn't
you aiming
able to
for?
win.
Pardon
Your
me.
mom
I was
wasn't able to go
aiming for
back.
Miss Universe. Yeah.
Your mom, your mom was in Toronto when you joined Binibining Pilipinas, or was she able to fly back to the Philippines to support you during your Binibining Pilipinas
It was during the
journey?
coronation when she visited me
Okay, all right.
because she wanted to visit me and be with me the whole time, but I said no, I need to be alone. It was that time of my life when I was like it was so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lonely. I'm away from my mom, my friends, Toronto. I miss, my room. I miss everything. My comfortable life. I miss that. And but at the same time, my gut was telling me to like, no, you have to stick and do this. It was that. It was a turning point. It was almost like a quarter life crisis for me.
Yeah,
And
the age of
it
21,
was
right?
mhm.
So,
And it was very frustrating because I wanted to really, really show to the world or to the universe rather that I deserve this. But it was like nobody's looking at me, nobody was listening because I have no
Mm.
manager, I have no PR team, I have no nothing. Like I was a newbie, I've never had any experience but Miss Mutiana Pilipinas. So I had a hard time um, with the audience, with the media. So in my head, like I was a model already. I was an international model, so I was doing really well in that job. and my ego was being hurt constantly when I'm not being interviewed, when I'm not being taken photos of, when I don't see my pictures, when I don't see a lot of comments. You know what I mean? So that was eating me a little bit, and I had to focus. And that's why when I said it was a lot of healing and self-development, because at that time I had to really talk to myself, meditate. And what really helped me with that is my faith. My faith grew with God. I became more more Catholic. I went to church all the time. I would confess almost every day. I would pray the rosary whenever I'm feeling bad. I would just meditate outside, listen to the birds. It was like that. It was just a lot of healing because I need to digest all the changes that was in my life. And I think that is the reason also why I survived that 50th year, because crazy every day, all the girls, imagine like all the girls looked like they were gonna go to the coronation night now.
Yeah.
It was a very competitive batch.
Oh my, you guys have no idea. You just see the photos. Imagine every day for 2 months that we have to see each other, and we all have to have this like, you know what I mean?
I understand what you're talking about, Bea, because honestly, me myself, I didn't even recognize or didn't even notice you until later on in the session when people started to mention about you. But because that's because you didn't have a PR team to actually devote their hype on you. Because at that time, I have to be honest, I was close with McCoy. Manlapas, I knew about McCoy Manlapas. So he had Mutya Datul. So I was born the Mutya Datul bandwagon.
Yeah.
During that time. And she was really
Are you one of those that hated me as well? Because I remember there were like a big controversy that time.
I don't know, because I'm not really a hardcore fan of like really somewhat. I think people misjudge you, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe those who are really close to Mutya Datul probably during that time mistook it and misjudge you for that. But I'm not really that close. You know, I'm just like, oh, I find her beautiful. I like her. That's it. But
yeah,
like, I didn't hate you for that. I didn't even pay much attention to that one until people started to talk about it all the time. But we will clarify that one later on because it's not. I don't.
Mutya and I are like this. She's like my baby girl.
Okay. Yeah. Just to clarify to everyone, it's not what they think it was.
No. It was just a misunderstanding, and it was just part of like the whole just the whole competition,
You make fun. Yeah. You just joke about stuff and you say things that
we forgot about it. I forgot about it until you said, "Oh, I was one of the Mutya." You're one of them.
I was not really a diehard fan, but I was more in the Mutya bandwagon during that time, simply because of Pawi and McCoy and like those people who have been her. It's not because I would really die for her and really would like she has to be.
No, but you know what? Because I think because of that, it was also like a strategic good thing for me, because people started now noticing who I was.
Yes.
Who is this? Guys. Who is this biatch?
I was about to mention that. Because of that, bigla kang napag-usapan.
I know,
and then you were being compared na to former beauty queens like, ay, kamukha niya si Amelia
Vega.
Amelia Vega, yeah. That's the thing that I remembered about the Amelia Vega thing. My favorites during the time were Mutya. Believe it or not, Ariela Arida was my favorite. Drew knew about that because I was like, oh, Ariela.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, but not really to the universe level, but she's in my top. She's always been in my top 3. And believe it or not, Marielle De Leon.
Oh yeah, she was in my batch. I think what the worst thing during that time was everybody looked like winners.
That's true.
Honestly.
Yes.
Walang tapon, kumbaga, walang tapon. So it was probably really, really hard for Mrs. Araneta to pick her top 15.
I think so. Yeah.
Because for me, that's the hardest
And I don't
amongst the
think it's
50.
Araneta who would pick all the 15 anyway. There
Oh
are
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
rules, opinion, and evaluation that
Uh,
actually put into them into top 15. But still, it was an amazing top 15. There were those who didn't make it that I thought would have made it. Was
yeah.
Naidas in your batch?
Yes.
But she didn't
Oh,
make it, right?
she was one of a competition just because
Yeah.
she had the same height
And
and
body frame.
face shape,
Yeah,
face shape as me.
She
So I was
didn't
like,
make it to the top 15.
competition.
Right to that one.
Yeah. Ang
And
daming
then mine,
matatangkad during that year.
oh yeah,
Si
one of my
Ana
most
Bukid.
actually Anna Bukid, but I think yung my most like for me my kind of level of competition, because I can be Miss Universe and Miss International. That's how strategic I was. I have to decide. I have to see who I think is the same as me, who can be Miss Universe and Miss International. It was Pia and Naidas, and who was that? Who else? Imelda, and Hannah Season. Because they're the same like bandwagon. Like we're the same level of we can be Miss Universe or we can be Miss International. So when
flexible.
yeah, we're the flexible girls. Like our beauty can be for Miss Universe or Miss International. So for me, they're the most like competition. You know what I mean? Because there's girls who are fighting for the Miss Universe only. But with us, we are fighting for both titles. And so when Pia was called as the runner-up, I was freaking out. I freaked out. Like I was scared. I was like, oh my God. I started praying to Lord. I was like, Lord, it's okay if you give me Miss International. I swear, I was like, Lord, please, it's okay if you give me Miss International. I don't have to ask for the Miss Universe. And then truth behold, I got called for Miss International. Man, that's why I was just so happy. I was like, thank you, Lord.
When they announced you as Bb Pilipinas International, of course, this was the one remaining.
I started questioning who
was in your mind? Who will be Miss Universe Philippines? And me too. I was like, who will be Miss Universe Philippines then? And I even forgot the existence of Ariela Arida already, because she was the
I was there
in the top 15.
And I thought I was there and I thought si Bea yung magiging Miss Universe Philippines. So when they called her Philippines International,
then who?
I know everybody started like who, because everybody's all the first runner up, Pia, and then Cindy, and then Mutia. They were all the favorites. So I was like, oh my God, who else is a favorite? And then I started looking, and like I thought it would be like Parul or Hannah or the other girls that really like spoke really good during the Q&A. Oh no, Hannah didn't make it to top 15.
She didn't make it to the top 15, I think.
Yeah.
Parul, I think the other favorite back then was Charmaine Elima.
But I think at that time she had I think so. That's the thing, because right away I switched to who answered correctly, because in the backstage when doing the Q&A, I was in the group 2, right? There's two groups, right? So the group 1, Elima was there.
And so Ariela was there. She was the first. So I already forgot about her questions, to be honest.
Yeah. Her answer was very her answer was correct to the point, direct to the point, and very correct. There was no like arte. It was like
no running around the bush, which is something.
That's why you forgot. That's why you forgot. But
she's the first one, and out of 15, right? And then usually the momentum is already in the second group, which was your group.
I think you also forgot because there were so many booed. So many people got booed.
Oh really? No, I was just watching on TV, on live stream.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
But according to Iwata, who was there, he told me he was there. He told me that he could not hear things at all.
No,
and
we couldn't.
It was crazy. The whole Araneta Coliseum was like, for him, he was like, it was like watching a Brazil or Argentina versus
Soccer.
England soccer match. You know,
It was that.
It was.
I couldn't hear myself until I don't
he
remember
was
what I
trying-
said.
He was translating for Mr. Hashimoto,
Yes.
but how could he
exactly.
translate when he couldn't even hear what's going on? Until both of them just gave up.
Yeah, it was a crazy, and then like imagine all this like and then silent.
The vuvuzela.
And I was hyperventilating. I was having a panic attack backstage with Barul. Barul and I were trying to relax ourselves, like, and then we had to go to the banyo because one of our best friends slipped a little vodka in our water bottle, and we had a little sip in there. We had a little chug in the back, and that helped.
Now we know.
That
There's really a
helped.
Russian element in there, you know.
That helped because but it's not really about that. I think it's the idea that I did that calmed me, because in Miss International it's the same thing that happened. I was hyperventilating when Miss Spain fell and couldn't speak.
Colombia.
Colombia, when Miss Colombia fell and couldn't speak.
See, Colombia,
Yeah.
she was the one who fell on stage, and
She couldn't say anything. She just cried.
Hmm.
From there, I was gone.
Yeah, before we move
Yeah.
forward, I just want to give a shout out to Tito Roger. He's watching.
Tito Roger,
Hi, Tito
hello. To
Hi,
Lindsay.
Tito.
I'm not sure if Lindsay is still here, but she was here a while ago. She was fourth runner-up during Edimar's time, Miss USA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she said like, you know, she said something like, you are an icon. You're Bea, you're
Wow.
iconic. Yes.
Thank you.
She's now a she's now a flight attendant in the United States. There are so many people who are actually saying hi.
Oh, hi guys.
Thank you
I can't
guys
see.
for watching.
They missed
Thank you
seeing
guys. I
you.
keep talking. I have so much information that I want to.
No, we have plenty of time. Just splook.
Yeah.
Going back to the Bb Pilipinas final. So I remember
Yeah.
reading on your Instagram account years ago when it was after your evening gown segment, you cried backstage.
That was not
what
Bini. That was
happened?
Miss International.
Was it Miss International? Okay.
That was Miss International.
So it's not
Bini. After the Q&A, I was just like, oh,
Okay.
I survived.
Okay, Bea, here's an honest question about your Q&A, because I wasn't so convinced.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to answer your question once again,
Yeah.
would you have could you
If
have
I would have
really, like,
I think
said it
I would have
differently?
answered the same, because it
You'll
was
still
very
say-
related. It was very related. I would have said something different. Probably would say like, we're both happy and proud because everywhere we go, no matter who we meet, no matter what we do, we're always going to be happy and proud to be Filipino. That's it. That was like, I just didn't elaborate it properly,
Okay.
but that was in my head.
And noise.
And the noise. And that was the first time, Stephen, that I had to do a Q&A. And that much people. And my most I was always scared of failing, so I had to face that, my fears and the fear of all of these people in front of me, and the fear of not being able to win that night. How many minutes? 1 minute. And I couldn't hear anything. Because it was just like,
she also said during our interview with her, she said like sometimes you just couldn't hear what is going on.
like the music is so loud, like the presenters, the hosts were so loud, and the people were so loud. They had different kinds of like noise with them. They had some drums, they had some like those microphones, loudspeakers, and then they have the whistles.
They should ban those stuff. Just
Oh no, it
cheer
was
and music
banned.
bands, but those things
It
are
was
really
banned.
distracting.
It was banned, but when you're there, they just pull it up like, whoa. I remember
But I
because,
have to see a Binibining
yeah.
Pilipinas live at least once in my life. I've never seen
Oh,
one, believe it or
you
not.
have to wait. You have to wait for the 75th year anniversary.
Just
I have to say, Steven, because I watched the Miss Universe live in Manila. So if i-compare ko dun sa Binibining edition sa napanood ko,
Yeah.
mas wild yung mga
Pilipinas is
audience sa
still
Binibini. It's like parang
Bini
fiesta.
Pilipinas. Oh my God. Everything. It's a celebration of like competition. It's a celebration of competition. It's the same mood as soccer, soccer games.
yes,
Like the
for sure,
championship, okay? The championship level,
World
or
Cup.
like,
It's like World Cup.
yeah, World Cup. It was a World Cup, or like in America, what's a
Super
football
Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Like that's how intense, or Olympics.
Yeah, that's how Mr. Iwata also described it when
Yeah,
he tell it to everyone about his Binibining Pilipinas experience in 2013.
yeah,
It's
crazy.
color-coded pa yung mga audience.
Oh yeah.
Di
What
ba?
color was I? Gold, right? We were all wearing gold. Gold.
You have your color codes.
Yes, gold. Oh my God.
Pag-usapan din natin yun with Pia, yung mga color coding.
There were rumors, Drew. There were rumors there that the reason why Bea became Binibining Pilipinas International because he was handpicked himself by Mr. Hashimoto, and then they kind of connected that to the fact that you also won Miss International because of that. But
No,
no,
I
like,
wish. I wish.
we have to clear that out. Mr.
Yeah.
Hashimoto was not anymore the owner of Miss International when
No,
Bea
yeah.
competed in Miss International that same year. It was already turned over to Akemi Shimomura. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Hashimoto has nothing to do with Miss International right now.
No, he sold it, right? After how many years of handling it? I think he gave it. Yeah.
It's more like a turnover of responsibility.
Yes. And I am Miss Akimi's first queen. She said I'm her first daughter. That's what she said. And you know the fun part, when Mr. What's his name again? Hashimoto. When Mr. Hashimoto was crowning me, he whispered to me, "I asked for you. I asked for number one." That's what he said. I asked for you. I asked for number one. That's what I was like, and then in my head I was like, "Oh my God, winner!" It became winner. It became winner.
Yeah, because there were rumors back then, diba?
Yeah. Oh, I was like so happy. I was so happy when I found out that he was the organizer. But then 2 months before the Miss International, it was a turnover, right? It was 2 months, 3 months. I think around October, September was when Akimi got the franchise of Miss International.
Officially, yeah, because the plan then, like people probably don't know about this, but the plan back then was to hold the Miss International pageant in the Philippines in 2013. So that's why the ICA kept coming back and forth to Manila to try to finalize that proposal.
I tried to actually. We had meetings, Miss Araneta and the team, with the girls, and we went to like the La Lopez's in ABS-CBN. Oh, I get to sit down with the big bosses of ABS-CBN. I met them. I dined with them. I laughed with them. We had parties in there. But you know what? It wasn't a big priority then.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess they spent so much for Binibini that year.
Because it's the 50th year.
Yeah, so I guess like they just wanted to relax for a bit because it's too soon, like there's only a few months until Miss International. That's why the Miss International got pushed back till December. Right? Yeah.
So, but actually, there would have been no Miss International that year until Akemi just came to the rescue.
Came to the
So
rescue.
that's
Oh
why
my
like really
God.
have to appreciate the current owner. Waspa, Miss Perry Dandy House. A lot of people didn't know that story actually, but there wouldn't have been a Miss International but that year. Maybe
I didn't even know.
Miss International would have ended in 2012. That's it. That was the end of Miss International.
Oh my God, I would have been the
Yeah,
last Miss International Philippines.
yeah, but there wouldn't have been a
Did
pageant
it.
actually. But
I,
again,
I would have hated it.
because she's like, hey, she's been involved with Miss International for so many years as a judge and
Yeah.
sponsor. She was in China judging the event with, during the time of Krista Kleiner, Diane Netz. She was there. And then when she found out that it's not gonna push through anymore because they keep on pushing it later, further and further until okay, Manila is not going to host the pageant, and then what's gonna happen? So no, there would be no Miss International, and then Akim was like, no, after all these years of that she's been involved, and then she felt so bad that the girls who actually like dream to become a part of this won't be able
Yeah.
to realize their dreams. Then that's the reason why she took over, and
She
Hashimoto,
saved.
after so many years of leading the ICA, just turned it over, and then of course that comes along with it the financial responsibility. So that's why your pageant was only good for like 9 or 10 days back then because
Hmm.
everyone was not so prepared.
Yeah, it
Makoto
was
was
like
not
a two
prepared.
weeks.
Makoto just entered the company and then he was like suddenly, I'm in Miss International. This is not what
He was
for.
freaking out.
He
He
was
was
freaking
like he was
out.
my chaperone after. He
Yeah,
was my
so
chaperone after.
nobody really knew what to do back then, but somehow it pulled through and we had you as our winner.
Yes, I know. I'm so happy.
So just to clear things out, people probably didn't know about this, but here it is,
Yes.
all
I
out.
didn't even know. I didn't even know about this.
Because they were not so vocal about it because it was a very sensitive year because we have also the previous year 2012 Miss International had some sort of a scandal as well. So like
Yes.
which problem would you shoot first? So it was just
Yes.
so complicated, but the main priority back then were the girls and the delegates who were expected to come to Japan and to compete in Miss
Hmm.
International. That's the main priority. It has always been, even until now. So
Hmm.
like just so many complicated stuff going on around the organization. And here we are.
Yeah.
So now, before I move forward to your Miss International journey, I just want to ask, what was your most memorable moment as a Binibini title holder?
My
PR
most
back then had a lot of interesting stories
yeah.
during your time. So
So there
for
were
you,
so
ano yung
many.
pinaka-memorable?
There were so many. There's a lot of memories as a candidate. I became really, really close friends. I've met my tribe. Until now, I'm still good friends. And I told them that they're going to be godmoms of my future children. So I met my tribe of women. Until now, I'm close friends. And then I think the second would be I really grew as a person, as a woman, while I was in Binibini and while I was doing the personality development with Dito Rojo. It I think they kind of shaped me as a person, and I really needed that as a woman, as a human being. And I think it was an experience that even if I didn't win, I would have treasured. Um, and I think the third would probably be I get to experience being Roxy. Like Roxy, the show, the theater. You know how she loves being the center of attention. I got to experience that in my own head. Huh? I was trying to put it in my head. I'm like I'm this person. I'm this person. So whenever I would leave my bachelor's pad, like a small little room, my dog, I would wear chinelas and I would take the tricycle and then get dropped off in outside Ali Mall and just walk to Gateway, and then I have to transform into Bea Santiago. I put on my glasses, put my hair in a bun, have my heels, and then have my white suit, and I go upstairs, and then all of these women looking at me like, who is this? Every day. Every day for 1 month, I get to do that. And I love that. I love it. And I think that was the reason why I really, really developed this strong stage presence, because of that practice of every day, from chinelas to tricycle to becoming this beautiful beauty queen.
The transition process.
Yes. So I was like transitioning into a human person. So I was like a butterfly, from like a small little worm to like nag-cocoon and became a beautiful butterfly. And that really, really is a part of who I am now. I had to experience that worm-like transition, because if I did not, I wouldn't be this confident and independent and opinionated, really.
The caterpillar has turned into a cocoon, into a butterfly.
And in 2013, you were the last in your batch to compete internationally. And before you flew to Japan, Mutia already won Miss Supra.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! I
was
cried
already
in the. Oh my God!
Megan won Miss
I
World,
remember.
different organization.
Ara was third runner to
Oh
Miss
my
U.
God!
Cindy was
Yeah.
semi-finalist. Megan won Miss World. So how did you manage the pressure before you
I
flew
think
to
when
Japan for this
When
national?
Ara was the last one to compete before me, and I was training with her. Imagine that. I was training even before my training time. So when Ara was in the Araneta green room to train, and she stayed there for 1 week, I stayed with her. I lived in Araneta Coliseum inside for 2 weeks, and I was training because I really needed, because all the pressure. Every time I hear, oh, she won, oh, she won, oh, she won, oh, she won, it added more. I had to. There's no excuse. There's no more plan B. It was another level of exams, or like another level of just like another heavy like fight, So, and what really helped me there was, I guess the people, Pia actually was a big help during my preparation. She was there for me. We became really close. We didn't really talk a lot, but we felt a lot. There was a lot of emotions. There was a lot of protecting. There was a lot of consoling, and Pia did all that for me. So I really owe it to her. She became an amazing friend in a time where I didn't even know that I needed her. She just offered without even realizing that I needed help. So I think that was like a big like Pia was a big help for me. So, did she made cuento about that time when nagkulong ako?
Oh, she didn't. No. I think she.
Okay, then let's not talk about it then.
Stories, and she wouldn't share.
Kinuwento lang niya yung sabong.
Yung sabong lang yung nakikwento.
Yung pag uma-attend kayo ng sabong event.
Oh my God, yeah. So like Pia, because Pia grew up in the province too, right? She was not afraid, but she doesn't know how to handle a chicken.
Okay.
And the rest of the girls didn't know how to handle chicken as well. I was like, give me that chicken. And I was like, girls, you do this. You make sure that the wings are flapped and you hold it tightly like that, like this. And just don't mind if it's going to go close like this. Because every time the chicken would like do this, they were like, oh my God, ah! No. Hold it tightly or else it's going to bite you, because these are killer chicken. This is not your food chicken. This is like going to kill your chicken. So yeah, it was fun and it was interesting, and I guess it's
We're from the Visayas. We're used to it, Bea. So
I'm used to it because I would groom, I would train, I would feed those kind of chickens.
Yeah, the roosters, or the fighting cocks.
The fighting cocks, yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting cocks. But yeah, I know how to sabong. I know how to bet. I know how to. Yeah, it's just a part of my my childhood growing up.
Yeah, is Negros, Masbate, Panay, yeah, those areas.
my mom's like making me watch myself in the comments. I'm like, it's weird.
I know. I haven't even checked it. I mean, like,
Okay,
oh.
let's check the comments. Is there comments in here? Oh,
Now
beautiful.
says, love you, Bea. Proud of
Hi,
you.
Tito Rajo. Oh, my aunt's there too.
If someone's family name is Monterde, then should be someone related to you.
Yes, especially if you're coming from Katayngan and where else, Mom? Esperanza.
Uh-huh.
And actually there's a little town in near Masbate. There's a small town there that's just full of my family members.
Oh, yeah.
They're my grandpa's cousins, and they just populate. And when I go there, it's like, hi auntie, hi lolo, hi lola, hi tito, hi tita, everybody.
Life in the province, life in the hacienda.
Hello. Oh, alam ko yung lolo mo, alam ko yun. It's like, ay, nakita kita nung maliit pa. I was like, yes, that's me.
My classmate watching, Nelly. Probably one of your friends as well. Hi, Nelly. Who else? Maybe we should do this more often, Drew. Like saying hi to our friends. Never do that.
You guys probably don't say hi to your friends.
But you know, of course, these are mostly Bea's fans. To be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, at this point, we will now talk about your Miss International journey. And I've heard a lot of stories from Stephen.
It's a very short Miss International, but so colorful and lots and lots of stories.
It was so meaningful for me because since day one, the pressure was on. The girls love to read Missosology, so because you guys have already had a top 10 and I was part of them, and since I had so many write-ups, I guess because the pressure was on my side, it was between me and Miss Venezuela.
That's true.
So at that time, so they were, and I was late for one day because I had to do singing bee. I had because I won singing bee in Philippines, so I had to be late for one day, just for one day. Yes, stay for one day to compete with, it was the championship. So I had to stay and I didn't win, but it doesn't matter. When I arrived in Miss International, the breakfast, before my roommate, she told me, she told me, oh, Miss Philippines, just to let you know, everybody's waiting for you. And I was like, huh? Yeah, everybody's waiting for you in breakfast. And I was like, oh my God. I had to strategize. I have to wear the most pearls, the most beautiful. I have to be calm with my face and like relax. And like I was praying in the elevator as I go down, like, Lord, please let this be nice women. Let this be like nice women. Because I don't know, like in the Philippines, I had a little bit of like who they are, right? Because there were so many write-ups about them and like their experiences in the pageant world. But when it comes to international contestants, I don't know who they are or what they feel. So when I got to the breakfast, I was a little bit scared, but everybody was so nice. But everybody was waiting for me. Casey was, she was right. They were all waiting for me because they were all saying, hi, Miss Philippines. We're all waiting for you. Hi, Miss Philippines. Hi, Miss Philippines. And I was like, hello, hi. And I was so quiet. I was just freaking out inside. And it wasn't until Stephen reached out to me and said, Bea, you need to relax. It wasn't until I didn't realize that I was freaking out every day, and people can see, because I was freaking out every day, Stephen. I was crying in my room every day.
Yeah, I realized that your skin wasn't really nice, and not nice that it's bad, but it was like it just
dry.
was stressed out. It's so dry. And then I remember when Kenji gave you the Nivea and
Yeah, and
hi
the
Kenji, I
chocolate.
hope you're watching.
He's watching. Nag-comment siya.
Oh, yeah, he
Yep.
couldn't join us, but yeah, but anyway, like that's the reason why I told Kenji right away because I don't live in Tokyo, so I told Kenji, if you can buy some, if you can just buy Nivea or something
Yeah,
or Bea because I knew it worked on me when I first came to Japan and it's winter. The transition from autumn to winter is really very bad in Japan. It's really bad on the
yeah,
skin because it's so dry. It sucks to dry out, and the
yeah,
hotels in Japan are like that. And I knew about it, so I thought
yeah,
about maybe this would help, and that's why I told you like to put water on your bathtub. Just
yeah.
sure that
I
there's
think
water up there.
what made me dry that time is that because I needed time to heal or to decompress every day's pressure,
Pressure.
I would take like hot bath. I would go on take I would put a lot of like those tea in that in the tub, and I would just lie down there and just like for 30 minutes, and I think that really really dried me up.
And I remember you were having sore throat already on your second or third day, and they said like I think it had something to do with a very dry ventilation of
Environment, yeah,
the environment. So it really sucked the all the liquids in your skin, your throat. So I
yeah,
experienced that before, and I didn't know the source of the problem until someone told me that it's because of the dry room, blah blah blah. That's why when
yeah,
it's winter season, I always make sure that there is a humidifier in my room. Now I have humidifier, but back then I would put a wet towel. I will hang a wet towel in my room so that that would serve as the one which will dry out instead of my throat.
yeah. Oh, I would leave the water from like my shower or from
Mhm.
my bath in the tub. I would just leave it there, and then
Yeah,
tomorrow and the next day I
correct.
would just, yeah, and then I would leave like a glass of water on the side, and I would drink a lot of water after that because I did see my skin was like dry,
Yeah, and your throat,
my
your voice,
throat.
yeah, you
Yeah.
were worried about that one.
And
Huh.
I think it was one of like the relaxing moment for me to realize like, hey, it's okay, relax. And I think after like day 4, day 5, my roommate, Miss New Zealand,
JC.
yeah, Casey and I, we became best friends. At first, she was a little bit like, were distant with each other. Apparently, she had a bad time with another Miss Philippines in a prior pageant.
Mhm.
So she was scared of me.
And she's very young, right? She was like only 19, I think, or 20. And
I was 23. She was like, yeah, 19 or 20 that time. And
exactly.
at that time, and I was there to freaking join the pageant. She was there just to like, it was one of her like, I'm just here to, see if this pageant is nice or not.
Mhm.
That's what she said to me. But then later at like the day 5 or 6, we became best friends. We got to know each other. We loved each other because we have the same mannerism. We're very organized. Our room's freaking like clean. There's nothing. We're so organized. My clothes were already prepped for tomorrow a night before. Stephen, there's 2 clothes outside for my breakfast and for um outside. And there's 2 options for the necklace and 2 options for coats. A thicker coat and a lighter coat. I was intense. My shoes was there, comfort shoes and the like the high heels, the power boots. And she saw that and she was really amazed and she would ask me to borrow some stuff and then hairspray and like we would share and then we connected. And then every night Casey would make her evening gown.
Because it wasn't done.
It wasn't done. She would be like gluing her crystals on the gowns
That's
every
true. Yeah, I
night.
remember. Yeah, because she was looking for a glue, and Miho, your chaperone, actually
Yeah.
went out to buy the glue. The glue.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are both very organized with time. So we managed our time. She would go first to the toilet and then shower and then leave, and then while she's doing makeup outside, I would be doing shower and stuff, and then she would come back to the washroom to do our hair, and then we would leave. Stuff like that. It was just fun. And then I think it worked for me that I had such a nice and organized roommate.
You're very lucky
because
with Casey, actually.
we
I
were
think
both lucky.
Both lucky for each
We
other.
were both lucky because we are really good friends with Netherlands and Poland.
Yeah, you're.
You know, we're a team. We're four best friends, and three of us won. So we're right beside each other. So when Casey and I would go to their room, like I think one time they hosted like a little get together with the girls and I. So all of our group, Miho's group, we stayed at Netherlands and Poland's room, and it was so dirty. I mean, not dirty, but like there were the clothes. The clothes was like hanged. So we knew what they were gonna wear, and so Casey and I, see, you're so lucky that I'm your roommate. I was like that, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, I know you're very lucky," because they were very like opposite. The both of them, they had their own like, this is my side, you know. But me and Casey, we were fluid. We had no sides.
Maybe it has something to do with the islander life, you know, New Zealand being islands, and
maybe
and Philippines also.
Maybe that. Maybe that. But
so Bea,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think what I loved the most about the pageant was the fashion of the girls. Right, Stephen?
Yeah. It's
Poland was a walking runway.
She's tall.
Honestly.
And
she's tall, skinny, a model, dark hair, like big eyes, very small waist, you know. She has a nice figure, like nice, and then she pulled out a lot of clothes from talented designers from Poland, and I was like, oh my god, girl, you are so lucky.
Yeah, that's the thing about Miss International Poland, or every Polish delegate in Miss International. They usually have young designers who are helping them, and then, hey, just wear my clothes, blah blah blah, and then they just pull them in and put them all in the luggage, and they would just wear them during different events. That's the same thing that Marta also told me when she came. Marta Palutska, who was 2008 delegate with Atisa, same thing. She said that there are so many young designers in their country who would love their clothes to be worn by a Miss Poland.
The Miss Poland. See, it wasn't like, you know, like it was runway ready. It was like almost couture, and I was like, oh my god, I want those clothes. and Netherlands, Natalie Den Decker, she just came from Miss Universe.
A year before,
Miss Universe.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like Mom, what are you doing? You're annoying.
She's gonna make you read again the comments.
Oh my god, stop bothering me.
Speaking of the comments.
Okay, come say hi. Come say hi to the audience.
Hello, Tita.
Come say hi. Come say hi.
Yeah, come.
She wants to say hi to you. That's what she's saying. Say hi.
Tita.
So I think Natalie came from Miss Universe. So it was from, I think, day 5. I already knew my competition is Natalie, which was and she knew. She told me after. She knew I was for competition as well. In day 5 or like 1 week after, but I didn't feel a competition between the 4 of us, you know, especially with Natalie, since she was my first runner-up. I didn't feel any competition between us because she was just very, very nice. She's
very nice.
She was the sweetest girl in the world. And at first I was weirded out, like, how can you be beautiful and nice?
Yeah, and she's a lawyer already, you know.
Oh my god. And she's so popular. She's a very popular girl in Netherlands. And I was like, oh my god, how are you so nice? You're like little Miss Perfect. You know, and she's just like, no, it's just my mom. My mom is like the most sweetest mom, and that's how she became one.
And every year, I guess the Dutch delegates are really sweetest. You know, I think they have won the most number of Miss International Europe, because the Miss International Continental Queens, they are being voted by the delegates themselves, and they have won already 3 times for the past 5 years. So that
Wow.
just speaks a lot about the personality of the Dutch delegates or the Dutch people in general. They are just the nicest
Oh,
people.
it's probably the chocolates or the magic cakes. It's the magic cakes, I'm telling you.
Probably the milk.
It's the magic cake, yeah.
They are
And the
really so
chocolate.
nice. If there was a continental queen during your year, I think Natalie would have won it as well. You know, she's
Mhm.
just so friendly to everyone.
Yeah, she was. And you know what? She visited the Philippines and we hanged out when
Mm.
she was there. So I'm just very, very fortunate and lucky that the girls that I vibed with, or I had like the same, I had the same vibe, the same energy, ended up becoming best friends, ended up winning with me. And it's such a beautiful moment to celebrate it together.
Mhm.
And I didn't feel anything between, all of the girls. We didn't had that, who's that? Like, oh, no. Even Venezuela and we got to talk to each other, and she was sweet as well, like really, really sweet.
Miss Venezuela is very sweet.
Hmm.
She didn't speak um, much English, but she
Yeah,
is very, like, she's really big.
yeah.
Tall.
She was just very tall, but
She's
she was so
so
skinny,
tall, but
girl.
she's such a
Her
good
legs,
lion.
her legs were my whole height. Her legs is my whole height. Like she's, I was just like, I wish I have half of your. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, can you guys hear that? No.
No, I couldn't.
Okay, good thing because my computer, there's so many updates in my computer.
Ah, okay. No, we couldn't hear. We couldn't hear. I think because
But
you were
yeah,
wearing.
yeah. I guess I'm just very, very lucky. But at the same time, the reason why I was also freaking out in the competition was because the girls were too nice. In a competition, when you join a pageant, you gotta feel, you gotta feel the competition. You have to feel the girls' energy. And all the energy that I felt with these girls were niceness, light, light emotion, light energy. And I was freaking out because how are these girls not even trying to compete with me, with my all this like angst that I have, like how I was in Binibini. I took that Binibini energy to Miss International, and it was so different. It was like total opposite. Miss International is really was just the most fun, relaxed, and beautiful pageant for me.
Exactly what Kenji said. Bakit parang
Yes.
walang competition dito, mas intense pa sa binibini, what should I do? You know,
No,
you
I
said
think
that
you
to
cannot.
Kenji when you met
Yeah,
him.
because I was freaking out. I was freaking out, and I was crying. I was crying because the girls were too nice.
Yeah, you did say that. You didn't feel the competition at all.
I didn't.
And
I
at the same
didn't.
time, your roommate Casey was also reminding you, just yay, relax.
Relax. Casey was like that. Okay, at the end, Casey and I talked, and we're just like, Bea, I think we made each other win because I rubbed off a little bit of competitiveness in her, and she rubbed off a little bit of just take it easy, relax, calm down, you know. And then we rose together, and we freaking won.
Yeah, and she was also Miss Friendship, which speaks a lot about her
Yes.
personality.
Yeah, I knew she was gonna be Miss Friendship on day 5 when we became friends. I knew she was very popular.
She was very popular. Everyone's just like, hey, New Zealand, New Zealand. Even
Oh,
with the
she
locals.
was giving me her food too. So I was like, yeah, I'm voting for you, girl. Miss Friendship.
Yeah.
So Bea, you mentioned that you really prepared a lot going into Miss
Mhm.
International. But was there
I
ever a
did.
moment? Was there ever a moment during the competition you were caught off guard?
I guess the negative media, the bashers and the trolls.
Mm.
I didn't expect it to be like that coming from some, like me. I wasn't the most popular and then became, like there's a side effect of having fame.
Mm.
And the first time I felt that it was massive because it was about my family. And it really almost torn me apart. But then after I actually just became better after. Like nothing can hurt me anymore
Mm.
after that. But I think that was the most uncomfortable and like, yeah, that's the most uncomfortable and saddening part, and the only negative part when I joined the pageant. That's it.
Hmm. There's a question here, Drew, from
Yep.
Jason. I think he already posted it 3 times, so we have to ask. Hi, Jason. Sorry.
Okay, what was the
Jason
question? What's the question,
Alcudia asked,
Jason?
when in Miss International, did you feel that the girls find you a threat?
Um, the only time I felt like that, it wasn't really a threat. It was like almost 50% of threat. I don't know how to explain it. It was more of they were figuring out who I am.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it wasn't a threat. That's why I was like, why? Because in Binibini, I loved when people felt like I'm a threat. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I don't think there was even such atmosphere in Miss International at all, because there's no preliminary competition, there's no preliminary
No,
round. Everyone's just doing
no.
cultural activities. So I don't think that the girls would actually think of one as threat,
Yeah.
and unless they
See,
read Missosology.
they do. They do. They do.
I think that's the only time that they realize that she's a threat or something, when they're reading these Missosology hot picks and all that.
Yeah. And I think that is the reason why so many fail
Mm.
to win Miss International, because they don't understand it. See, because me, I'm an observer. I really love to observe, to be able to become, to adopt and to see my advances.
Mm.
I'm a very, like, I'm a very, I have to feel the vibe. I have to observe who's gonna be my threat, what's gonna be my position, like, like all of these things when you're doing pageantry. And I was doing that silently, even if I was having fun. I did not forget I was in a pageant. Other girls had too much fun and they forgot
They
that they were
forgot
in a
they
pageant.
are still in a pageant.
There were so many beautiful girls, but they forgot that they're in a pageant. They were always late. They were making fun of the Japanese traditional fan. They weren't drinking their matchas. They weren't prepared to, go on events, because Miss International was just too nice. You
Nobody
know,
would be angry.
nobody nobody was telling them to, nobody was telling them um behave, to do anything. But me, I knew I was there not to have fun. I knew I was there business, and
Yeah,
I was there to do, to be Miss International.
that's true.
That's why.
It's and at the same time you're wearing the Philippine sash. It's a big responsibility.
Yes, I was Miss Philippines. I was not Bea. That's why I forgot who I was. I was Miss Philippines, who was freaking out.
We still have some
And
interesting questions
yeah,
here,
no,
Drew.
I'm curious
Yes,
to
ask
know.
me all these interesting
Yeah, I'm curious.
questions.
I'm
I'm
curious to know
ready.
because during your time,
Mhm.
the dresses and the gowns that you wore in the competition were provided by Binibini Philippines. So
Yes, it
what?
was.
So what? Ano yung naramdaman mo when you found out that you will be wearing this magenta hot pink gown for the finals?
Um, at first, honestly, like, I didn't really, that time I didn't really care. I trusted Mrs. Araneta so much with all my heart. And Raymond, Direct Raymond was there. And Raymond and I are friends ever since Mutya days. Ever since I was a model. Raymond already know me. We met in Toronto years before.
Mhm.
So I'm very comfortable that they know my color, they know what's good for me, they know what's good for the Miss International. And Mrs. Arneta knows Miss International in the back of her hands. Like, she knows it, like,
She's a
this
first
is good.
winner, so
Yeah, so she knows it. Like, you don't have to tell her anything. She knows it.
Mm.
If you want to for her to draw a line, she can draw it without even looking, because she knows Miss International so much.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't really care. I love that color. I love the fit. When I put it in on me, I felt like I was gonna win right away. I felt so tall and so beautiful, and my shape was so nice. So yeah, like
I heard you didn't do the fitting in the Philippines. You first saw it in Japan. Am I right? Or
no, I had it. Mrs. Araneta bought it since like day one,
okay, so
and Raymond saved it for me.
okay, all right. Just to
And when they were looking for the gowns for each candidate, they already knew that was for me. Oh, this is a Bea gown. This is Bea's. So they put it aside for me.
So you didn't bring it with your luggage when you came to Japan. Someone brought it from the Philippines later, or
no, I brought it with me.
You brought it with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to clear things out, because a lot of people are always curious about the gowns that you're wearing, like what Bea shared as well regarding her colorful gown history. And Kenji here would like to ask,
yes,
how did you feel wearing that orange national costume?
At first it was like, oh, pineapple. I was like,
an orange pineapple.
But then I didn't really care because I needed to show off. I needed to be, an interesting one. And I was that type of candidate that looked back on the prior videos, 5 years, 10 years. So I looked at 2012, 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008. I was like this. So I knew that orange would be an eye-popping color on stage. So it wasn't a problem for me. People might have been like, oh my God, that's I know, like that's like ugly. And I was like, for me, it was like, no, girl. We might be not pretty enough for you, but for me on stage, the judges are gonna look at me and then they will remember, oh, this is the girl who wore the orange looking pineapple dress.
Yeah, and you wore the orange national costume with a purple fan during the press conference, but you didn't use the fan anymore during the final night. What was the reason behind that one?
I wanted to just focus on not impressing anymore. I want them to focus on my face, because if there's too much color at the coronation night, then they might not see my face. And for me, Miss Internationals the main killer move is this.
Yeah. The neck, actually, this part you have to they really love this area.
That's why I always show this part to them, and I'm very, very lucky that my mom gave me this long neck.
Hey mom, can you show again? Mom.
Mom, show us your neck, come on. Yeah, so I have a lot of mentors that used to work in Japan. So they told me, oh, Bea, the Japanese people like necks. Oh, Bea, you have to be gentle. When you sit down, you have to imagine that you're a queen, you're a princess, but everybody's looking. And, it might have been that nobody's looking at me, but there was one person that looked at me, and that was Akimi. Akimi was so impressed of how regal and sophisticated and classy I was that
her eyes are quick. Yes,
she took notice.
Yeah, she
took notice
right away.
I thought nobody was looking because I was just like really quiet. I'm just like, hi, hello, hi. I wasn't like, I want to be in every picture. Oh yes. Like how some girls are like in a pageant. Everybody's like, me, take a picture of me. But me, no. I was just like, you know what? If I win, I win. Let's just see in the coronation night. And I was very, very right. I was right. Kimi and her daughters were taking notice of how I sit down, how I would eat, how I would smile, how I would talk, how I would introduce myself, how I would wave. My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Stephen? Honestly, this became a signature wave.
Miss Uganda followed that one last year. Because of you.
Because Akimi was like the next year, she was like, oh, Bea, can you please show them the right wave? And I was like, oh my God, I have become a patent. I am now the Miss International Wave. And I have invented that, guys.
Can you do that again? I have to zoom this up. Do the wave.
honestly, it was amazing that she noticed that. Like, and not a lot of people take notice of little details in a person, and she did. And Kimi and I became good friends. That even when she would visit Philippines, she would ask for me. We would have dinner. You know, she would bring me gifts. So nice. So yeah, if please send her my well wishes for her.
For sure, yeah. She's doing really well right now. Very happy with
I
her
know.
two
I
grandsons.
was just gonna ask if I go to Japan, can she like libre me the facial?
You know, maybe
Because
the wasp.
Miss Paris. Oh yeah, no, I think I went to Miss Paris or maybe the WASPA. Oh my God, guys, you have to try the Japanese facial massage. Oh my God, I have never tried anything in my life. And nothing compared to the Japanese facial massage and the Japanese makeup. The makeup artists are amazing. They actually massage my face
Because
before doing my
I
makeup.
think they do here. Miss Parry has a vocational school that teaches professional makeup artists and gives them the
Mm-hmm.
certificates to become official makeup artists. Like it's like a 2-year course, and it's one of the schools that we have here in Japan. So yeah, it's a really a very serious profession. You just don't become a makeup artist overnight. They do
Mm-hmm.
study in a vocational school. They get certificates for that one, and then they get accredited.
I
That's why they're
bet. Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good makeup artists.
So at this point, I want to talk about your crowning moment. So it's
My
something na hindi
crowning moment. Yeah.
nakakalimutan ng every beauty queen. So can you take us
I
back to that
know.
moment?
I wanna take you guys first to right when I did my speech.